as a child, and we're getting ready for the holidays. So we're getting ready as a child. You're looking forward to opening all those Christmas gifts. Well, you don't want the same gift, the same toy for every gift you open, right? That would just be the same thing. That'd be pretty boring. I think you have to look at it as an opportunity. You can't be fearful, because if you're fearful, then all of the things that we talked about in the mission statement, those all go away. Change, we can't stop it even if we wanted to. It's going to happen. So let's learn how to embrace it. I was raised in a family that we traveled for at least a month every summer. And so by the time I was age maybe 11, I'd been in every state but Hawaii and Alaska. And I don't think I can really describe how important that was in developing my worldview.
We went to a resort. We were very lucky. We got all exclusive, all paid for resort experience. But when we went there, we were experiencing this Americanized version of Jamaica, and we were able to go on an excursion that was 4 hours away from our resort. And we had a person from Jamaica that was leading us on that tour. So it was nice to have someone who knew the land and knew what was going on, but to actually get away from the resort, because I think sometimes you think, oh, I'm having this experience, but you're still surrounding yourself by Americans or people that still think from our point of view. Right. And so trying to get out there and step outside the beaten path with still being safe.
The calls now we're living in it, where information is coming at us as much as we want it to. We want to get on Facebook or Twitter or the internet, we can steadily get information. We have to be the control agent to say, this is where I agree with it, or this is where I disagree. Tom Brokaw was speaking recently about when he was a journalist back in the early days, and you had the news coming on and the newspaper, and those were your sources, the 6 o'clock news and the morning newspaper. Well, that's gone away with, and so we have to be willing to now filter this information, because something else is coming down the line. The cliche is, if you keep doing the same thing, you're going to always get what you've always had. And so if you want the same result that you've had, you say we're good, but we want to be great.
And those of ethics and caring and knowledge, absolutely, they're hopefully timeless. And if they aren't, that we have the courage to change our mission.
Right.
I don't see that happening soon, but I think if we do live in a different world, and one of those components of our mission isn't appropriate, then that we would change it.
The biggest key to being a productive citizen in a diverse and changing world is not losing your ability to ask questions of yourself first. If you can't reflect on your own part, then you're in a mess. So you have to start with yourself before you move out to what else is happening around you. And I did an international service team, and that was kind of where my mind was blown open in terms of what's my role on the planet, and that I can't come back to Kansas and vote or drive or purchase things or whatever it is I'm doing and just say, well, this is just about me here in Manhattan, Kansas, that I have to be thinking about what are the implications of the global society.
It's hit home with me because just a couple weeks ago I took a trip, went to Rome and London, and a lot of times on a trip, you tell the people back home where you're staying and where you can be reached in an emergency and all these things. Well, in the hotel where we stayed, they had an iMac computer with Skype on it, so we could Skype our families anytime. So it hit me that, this interconnected world and the smaller world. So here we were across the ocean, but yet we were just a click away from seeing the faces of everybody in real time, talking to them.
Yeah.
So I think the idea that I can live my life just in a monoculture, and that I'm going to be able to understand the little subtleties of culture, that I'm going to be able to live in a culture that I understand what's happening, I think is past us. And I may not have to move to make that happen. It may move to me. You know, it might move to me.
John Carlin talked about how we have an international student body that is quite substantial, and you don't get that experience everywhere. And his wish and his heart was that we would find a way to incorporate the international students and engage them and make them feel like they have a home. He said the biggest tragedy would be that if there were any international students that went home after spending 4 to 8 years here at Kansas State getting their degree and didn't feel like they really made a good friendship with an American student, maybe never made it into an American home, or never felt that they were included in the culture of America and never felt welcome and warmed. We are here to be ambassadors, and it's a shame that they should go home feeling like they weren't guests, that they weren't welcome. Don't just go there to have fun. Not to say that having fun is a problem, but you'll miss out on honestly the most fun part, according to John Carlin, is learning about another culture, learning about another people, learning about people that have a completely different backgrounds and experiences. That will change your life forever. And so let that be our experience here. As if we ever have the opportunity to travel, be it for honeymoon or just for fun or business trip, or maybe we're going to spend long-term missions, something, working in an organization abroad. You just never know, and those are opportunities for us to grow and expand our bandwidth.